with him. Let's show him how much we appreciate what he does.
That I've just signed an executive order to create the Community Safety Commission. Homicides and shootings are down. Carjackings, aggravated assaults, and robberies are all down too. Our new drone first responder program. We will seize your car, we will crush it. We've seen survival rates of 92%.
Updated our snow routes and the online snow map.
The damage was historic, but we didn't stand back. I brought in every resource possible.
First LEED Platinum certified steel modular single family home.
Welcome to the new Walnut Street Park, new Algonquin Park Pool. Check out the new Camp Taylor Pool. Welcome to the beautiful, to the improved Portland Library. Welcome to the new Parkland Library.
We are so fortunate to be able to partner with the mayor and his focus on early education.
There's no better place for companies to invest and create good paying jobs than right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville has shown the world we can host it all, urban and beyond and louder than life. Plus major events like the PGA Championship, Kentucky Derby, and international soccer matches.
Mayor, keep up the good work. You're winning here in Louisville.
Well, good morning, everyone, and what a year it has been. This morning, I want to reflect on the past year and look ahead to 2026 and beyond. 2025 has been a year of results and resilience for Louisville. These are the results of our Louisville Metro government team's incredible work, my amazing team of 5,000 colleagues. To each of them, thank you. And this has also been a year of resilience of our entire city. To our community and to the support each of you showed to others throughout this year, thank you. We're ending this year with some great positive momentum. Just last week, we celebrated some amazing economic news. Foxconn, the world's largest electronics manufacturer, is bringing its American manufacturing facility to Louisville. And two other companies, Glove US and Anthem Energy, announced new facilities too. And we joined tech leader V Simple to open their brand new headquarters. All told, that's $225 million of investment, a $225 million vote of confidence in Louisville, and 600 new, diverse, high-quality jobs that provide opportunity and put food on the table and so much more for Louisville families, all in just 1 week. Progress like that, results like that, like we've seen throughout our city this year, they don't just happen. My colleagues across the administration have worked hard every day to lay the groundwork to make Louisville safer, stronger, and healthier. And we've been laser focused on thinking boldly and getting things done. And this year, we have delivered results. And we've shown resilience. The people of Louisville have shown strong resilience. This year, I launched Safe Louisville, our collaborative comprehensive crime plan to reduce violent crime through prevention, intervention, and enforcement. And even when the federal government decided to abandon their consent decree, we voluntarily recommitted to LMPD's ongoing reform efforts through our community commitment, Louisville's consent decree. And to keep the community involved, I created the Community Safety Commission to receive regular updates on our work. And we use community input to select the independent monitor for the community commitment. Thanks to these comprehensive efforts, we're delivering results. Shootings and homicides are down more than 20% this year alone. And in fact, since I've been mayor, shootings are down over 40% in the past 3 years. That is incredible progress. And this year, robberies, carjacking, street racing, and takeovers, they're all down also. This is very encouraging news, but I'm not content. And that's why, through our Safe Louisville plan, we plan to reduce shootings and homicides by at least 15% each year in 2026 and beyond. So to do that, we're going to keep innovating and giving our public safety professionals the resources they need to make our city safer. That's why this year I allocated funding to create the new Drone as First Responder program, which allows us to respond quicker to emergencies. We're also starting our work on building the first new firehouse in Louisville in 15 years. And this year we opened LMPD's new headquarters, bringing hundreds of officers under the same roof in downtown Louisville for the first time in years. I also created the Park Ranger program, hiring our city's first chief park ranger, because our community deserves safe place to gather, safe places and amazing places to gather, where you can explore, exercise, experience, and learn. And that's why we made major investments this year in our public spaces, particularly in our parks and libraries. And after years, even decades of waiting, people in neighborhoods all across Louisville are seeing results. We opened 4 new parks this year. We renovated and reopened 2 libraries and opened 1 new pool that's the best in the entire region, plus many, many more improvements across our parks and library system. So let's start with our brand new parks. We opened the new Nick Rodman Legacy Park in Southwest Louisville, the new Walnut Street Park in the Russell neighborhood. We opened LouMed Commons, an innovative urban park within the LouMed district downtown, just 6 months after breaking ground. And in Portland, we opened Playport as part of Waterfront Park's westward expansion. Algonquin Park has the new pool, the first new public pool in West Louisville in 60 years. And the new Camp Taylor pool is ready. It's going to open in 2026. In total, we completed more than $34 million in projects at our parks, including renovated playgrounds, new tennis and pickleball courts, improved restrooms, enhanced lighting and more cameras for safety, and the installation of free public Wi-Fi now in over 99 of our Louisville metro parks. In addition to that, we reopened new and improved library branches, as I mentioned, in Portland and Parkland, the latter of which was closed for nearly 40 years. And since July, we've added more than 130,000 books, ebooks, and digital audiobooks to the Louisville Free Public Library collection, thanks to our $1 million city matching funds in our latest budget. These are safe, welcoming public spaces that children, family members, and communities of people from all backgrounds have access to, that they deserve access to. And the same goes for a safe place to call home. As I've said before, a safe, quality, and affordable place to call home is the foundation for everything else in a family's life. So we continue to build, open, renovate, break ground on high-quality, safe, affordable homes all across our city. Now, we have more than 7,000 new units that have been created and preserved in my time as mayor. And just like we're doing to address other needs throughout city government, we're going to encourage innovation to meet our ambitious goals. Some of that innovation is happening right here in Louisville already. You saw it happen this year. At MMY US, a new manufacturer in Louisville's Parkland neighborhood, we unveiled the first LEED-certified affordable modular housing unit built in Louisville for Louisville, with much more to come. And to help those who need it the most, we're finding new ways to help those experience homelessness with access to support and services that they need to find stability and a new path in life. We opened a temporary family shelter at the innovative Community Care Campus, with more resources on the way next year to help people experiencing homelessness access shelter, medical care, and other essential services. We created 2 new 24-hour shelters in partnership with St. Vincent de Paul and the Healing Place. We opened the Chancery with Volunteers of America, which will offer 34 permanent supportive housing units for individuals facing chronic homelessness, and we announced the Home for Good initiative, which aims to provide that same permanent supportive housing for at least 250 people experiencing homelessness by 2027. And when you talk about foundations that set our community up for success, you have to talk about early learning. And this year is another year where we delivered results. We opened the tuition-free Bezos Academy, 3 of them, preschools in Fairdale, Okolona, and Russell, and a 4th location is on its way. And to lead our work forward in this area, I created Thrive by 5 Louisville, a nonprofit dedicated to creating and supporting early learning opportunities. And this year, it really got going. Thrive by 5 just launched their Pilot Plus program to support 26 child care providers in Louisville. This means real results now, where kids are going to have a safe place to learn, grow, and play. And parents won't have to face that horrible choice between their own careers and providing for their family and setting their children up for success. And it means results long into the future, far beyond my term as mayor. Because we all know that children who access quality early learning are more likely to graduate from high school, earn more money, live longer, healthier lives. We're setting our kids up for success. And as I mentioned earlier, Louisville's economy is on a roll. Businesses, big and small, are taking notice that Louisville is a place where they can grow, innovate, and build lasting success. On top of our big week last week, this year we saw major companies like GE Appliances, Ford, Texas Roadhouse, and Yum Brands all doubling down on Louisville. Wages for the new jobs that were announced this year were on average 24% higher than jobs that were created last year. These are real results, positive momentum that will help working families all across our city. It also is going to help us reinvest in all of the other things we have on our agenda. I want to reinvest in neighborhoods all across our city, neighborhoods including downtown. And it's so great to see downtown bustling with activity once again, where work is underway to breathe new life into iconic spaces like the Belvedere and Louisville Gardens. And through programs like the Downtown Building Conversion Fund, we're turning vacant buildings into vibrant residential, hospitality, and entertainment destinations. Just last week, I joined 5 Iron Golf at their new downtown location, where they took vacant space and created something that people who live downtown, work downtown, or visit downtown can all enjoy. People are taking notice, and Louisville continues to strengthen its standing as a place to host the world. From our strength as a sports city with the Kentucky Derby, PGA Tour Golf, and now the Louisville Kings, a great new addition to our excellent roster of pro sports team. To our iconic festivals like Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life, which this year partnered with Kentucky Kingdom for award-winning and record-breaking 2025 festivals, and they committed to Louisville for another decade of growth here in our city. When you add it up, there is so much positive progress to celebrate. Results that you can see and feel all over Louisville, from Newburgh to Nulu, from Parkland to PRP, from Shawnee to St. Matthews. But what may stick with me most about this year is how Louisville handled adversity. Time and time again, our city has shown resilience. In April, Louisville experienced one of our city's largest floods in history. So our community showed up, and we recovered in record time for the Kentucky Derby Festival together. And when people were at risk of going hungry because of federal cuts, I allocated local funding to save meals for 900 seniors, and once again, our community showed up during the federal government shutdown. Showed up at our food drives and with donations to stock the shelves at our local food pantries to help others who were in need. And then again, through the heartbreak of the crash of UPS Flight 2976, I saw some of the best of our community, our brave first responders, the community members who showed up to support each other at the vigils and in so many other ways, the Louisville Orchestra who played a free concert that we could host an opportunity for our community to come together to gather, to mourn, and reflect together. From the floods and the snowstorms to the heartbreaks and the challenges, Louisville was incredibly resilient, and I'm incredibly proud to be a part of it. 2025 will indeed be remembered as a year of results and resilience. And as we look forward to 2026, I'm more excited than ever about building on our positive momentum. Under Chief Humphrey's leadership, LMPD will continue to grow and improve, and will continue to make Louisville safer. We'll open another pool at Camp Taylor. We'll reopen an improved main library. Work will begin on transformative projects like the Belvedere and Jefferson Memorial Forest. We'll build more homes to make housing more affordable for more Louisville families. We'll enroll more kids in quality childcare and early learning classes. We'll advocate hard to the General Assembly to get more investments in downtown Louisville and all across our entire city. We'll support the growth of more local businesses, and we'll attract new businesses once again to Louisville to create more good-paying career path jobs all across our city. And of course, we have a few more big surprises that will keep moving Louisville forward in a new direction. So Louisville, it has been a strong year. It has been a year of incredible results, of incredible resilience. I'm proud to be your mayor. I'm proud of the positive momentum that we have all across our city, and I'm so excited for 2026 and beyond. Thank you to everyone who has helped make our city safer, stronger, and healthier during this year. And I think it's only fitting that before I take questions from members of the media, and since we're recognizing so many good things that have happened during this past year, that we end by recognizing two outstanding people who are part of the Louisville Metro government team that are part of LMPDs. Officers Caputo and Richardson, if you guys will join me here now. I'm joined by Officers Jacob Capito and Joshua Richardson. And back on March 22nd, they responded to a house fire. The 911 call reported children trapped in a burning home. And despite heavy smoke and near zero visibility, the officers ran into the house. With a neighbor, they were able to save 6-year-old Colton Rayburn through a shattered bedroom window and perform life-saving measures. These are the heroes. And just a couple of weeks ago, they were reunited with the young brothers who they rescued. So often, our officers and first responders go from job to job, from emergency to emergency, day after day, and don't have the opportunity to see the good that they create, or to be recognized for their extraordinary efforts that make Louisville a safer place to be. I'm glad you all had that opportunity, and I also want to recognize each of you for your amazing, heroic service. Thank you all so much. You guys, any of you guys want to say anything? Please.
Real quickly, today I'm grateful for my new friendships with the Rayburn family, that each of them survived the house fire that led us to meeting them. They are all resilient and have kept their smile and warm hearts. I like to consider each day a blessing, that when I wake up, I put on this uniform, I walk out the door to do my job, and in doing so, I'm often able to help others. That's what makes this job so great. This comes at a great sacrifice, though, to our significant others, family, and friends. I am forever grateful for their love and support. Thank you, Mayor Greenberg, for your leadership, support, and this humbling recognition. Thank you to my brothers and sisters of the LMPD who have welcomed me alongside them and lift me up on my worst days. Thank you to Fire and EMS, who we work alongside daily. After this incident, I have a newfound respect for the challenging work conditions that you face every day. And thank you for the people of this city who make this small town, yet a big city, that I love. I do not take your support lightly, and therefore promise to serve as best I can. We cannot serve effectively without you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you once again, Officers Capito and Richardson, for your incredible service every day. And it's an honor to recognize you today. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions from members of the media.
What's your reaction to the Blue Oval Ford news?
The question was about my reaction to the Blue Oval Ford news. It was disappointing, and it was a little bit frustrating. Frustrating because you're seeing what happens with the change in federal policies away from the support of electric vehicles and the impact that it has on hardworking families, on investments in our community. We're going to continue to work. Ford is a great close partner of Louisville. They have 2 amazing plants here right now, and we want to do everything we can to support them, to support all of their employees, the hardworking men and women of the UAW, and see ways that we can ensure that the Louisville Assembly plant, as it's retooled, which as I understand it right now, will continue to produce EV vehicles for the foreseeable future, that we want to make sure that that is a strong success for them. And if there's anything else that we can do to support them as they change what they're producing at the Glendale factory, we know many of their employees live in Jefferson County and work in that facility. We want to support them as well and set them up for as much possible success in the future. So we'll be reaching out to them today and continue in the weeks and months ahead. The Louisville Economic Development Alliance, Trevor Paul and his team there will be joining me in that effort to continue to support Ford and all of their employees. And we hope, for the best. We think there's great opportunity still for Ford in this community.
Mayor, in light of the Von Dyke shooting that happened, will there be extra security tonight at the Memorial County?
Yes, the question was about the horrific anti-Semitic attack that happened in Australia. And yes, we are taking security precautions at the menorah lighting this evening, as well as many other things across town. The holiday time should be a time where families can gather with one another safely, celebrate the holidays, celebrate their love for one another, celebrate their love for our city, for our countries, for our religions. And it is horrific what happened in Australia. It's horrific what happened at Brown University. It's horrific what happened at Kentucky State University. And I'm hopeful that our country and our world is waking up a little bit more and will join with us here in Louisville to work to do more to end these horrific, tragic acts of gun violence.
Can you give us an update on the building conversion fund? I know back, it was in June, you announced plans for the fiscal court building. Are there any other buildings that you know of that are going to be converted that you'll be announcing? And specifically, can you address the report on the Humana building and the phone companies?
The question was about the Downtown Building Conversions Fund project thereof, and then if I could address anything about the report about the Humana building. On the Downtown Building Conversion Fund, the only project that we've announced so far is on the old fiscal court building right on the other side of this alley behind Metro Hall. There's a lot of other demand for that, and so you will continue to see in our legislative agenda and our legislative proposals for the General Assembly for next year, we're asking for a significantly additional amount of money to continue that effort to convert vacant buildings here in downtown into residential, hospitality, entertainment, other mixed uses. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that in the early part of next year, and we're also looking at some new tools that might help that make happen in addition to just cash and investment. So that's the first part. In response to the question about Humana, we have been working very closely with Humana. We've spoken with several developers that have looked at opportunities to redevelop the Humana Tower for its next chapter, and we're working very closely with a prospective developer and with Humana so that the city and the state can be incredibly supportive so that the next chapter for that building is one that is a huge investment for our city, for our state, and has great positive return for our downtown, for our entire city and state. So I can't comment further on it at this time, but I'm hopeful that there is good news that we can all announce together early in 2026.
Mayor, you talked about wanting to see shootings and homicides go down 15% moving forward. What are some action items that you and Greg have talked about that you're looking to really kind of focus on in the coming year?
So there are several things. The question was about how we're going to continue to reduce shootings by about 15%. Again, I am proud that since I've been mayor, shootings are down by 42% in the last 3 years. That's great progress, but I'm not content. It's not enough. We can and we must do more. And so when it comes to LMPD, Chief Humphrey will work every day like he and his team have been to continue to make improvements. We'll continue to recruit more individuals and get more officers on the streets to prevent crime and shootings from happening in the first place. You see large recruiting class now compared to when I was first became mayor, when there were 8 or 9 people in a recruiting class. Our last recruiting class started at 41 officers. We need to continue that progress to get more officers on the street to help prevent crime. We're working on more partnerships than we've ever had before. You recently heard about the announcement from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. They're going to be putting officers on the street to help prevent crime from happening. Last week, we announced a partnership with Kentucky's Attorney General, Russell Coleman, on cracking down on organized retail crime. So partnerships with the Commonwealth Attorney and County Attorney and others, those are also bearing fruit. Through our Safe Louisville plan, we're very focused on prevention and intervention as well before crime happens. So you just saw in our mid-year budget adjustment, we allocated more funding to a community violence interruption site in the Russell neighborhood at the site of the tragic school bus stop shootings that happened earlier this year, to work with individuals that might be on the path towards a life of crime and help steer them in a more positive direction. We're going to continue to invest in partnerships across the community that are working with students. We invested this year in a new program called Get Busy for middle school students, because we know that so much of the violence taking place in our city right now is targeted violence with young people between the ages of 16 and 24 that are shooting and killing other young people in that same age group. We want to reach them before they've already picked up a gun and help them stay on the right path in life. So there are a lot of programs that we're going to be investing in well. And then, of course, those are some things that we know we can and we are and we will continue to do even stronger here in Louisville in 2026 and beyond. And wouldn't it be great if in 2026, the United States Congress decides to help us out, or the Kentucky General Assembly would have an opportunity. We've asked every year since I've been mayor if the Kentucky General Assembly could give us some unique authority here in Louisville to deal with the urban gun violence that we see in Louisville, which may be different from other parts of the state, but give us the autonomy to legislate local solutions to our gun violence challenges here. There's an opportunity at the federal level to close a lot of gun loopholes, to require background checks on firearm sales, waiting periods for first-time buyers, limit concealed carry for people under 25. And certainly I would like to think we can all support banning these ghost guns, which we now being built illegally by 3D printers and can be used to cause terror on the streets. So those are just some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that we'd love to have support from legislators at the state and federal level to reduce violent crime even further here in Louisville and all across the country. Axel.
Mayor Greenberg, what has been some of your thought processes or feelings on the community commitment process as you and your administration and LMPD have been working on the implementation plan?
So the question was about the community commitment. I think we're making really good progress. We are making progress to implement new policies. We have an LMPD and a Louisville Metro government that is far more transparent today than it was years ago when it comes to releasing information. We've caught up on our open records requests, and the backlog there has shrunk dramatically over the past year. We're releasing officer-involved shooting camera within 10 business days. We're working very closely with the independent monitor, and I think you'll see in the years ahead that trend continues. I'm proud of the progress. Know we have a lot more to do together, but that's what we're working on. Dave?
You posted online some personal comments after the Brown mass shooting. I'm curious, how is your family doing now, and how does an event like that affect a family, particularly one like yours who has already experienced gun violence?
Yeah, the question was about the shooting at Brown University where my son Ben is a junior and the impact on our family. It was an incredibly tough Saturday night. It still stings. I'm still a little bit numb inside by what Ben went through and what all of his friends and classmates at Brown went through on Saturday afternoon and evening, and still to this day and in the days ahead. I was thrilled that Ben made it home last night. It was wonderful to be able to hug him and welcome him home, and for Rachel and I to celebrate Hanukkah with Ben last night at our house. So that was a great night for our family. But, you know, the impact of gun violence goes far beyond the victims who are wounded or killed by the bullets. The impact of gun violence has affected every student, every faculty member, every staff person at Brown University, everyone in the Providence community, just as acts of gun violence impact people here in Louisville. When I first saw the news and heard what happened in Providence, my mind immediately went back to my own brush with death, the assassination attempt on me when I was running for mayor. It then jumped to April of 2023, where as mayor we had to deal with the Old National Bank mass shooting, and then just a few days later, another horrific act of gun violence at Chickasaw Park. And think about the impact of those acts of gun violence, this act of gun violence, of every act of gun violence that we've seen in between in Louisville and around the country. It's flabbergasting to me that more legislators aren't working together to do something about this. And so Rachel and I are sending our prayers to all of the families of the victims at Brown University, to the two who passed, including one of the students who my son knew, to the victims to those who were injured and their families. And I'm sending strength to my friend Mayor Brett Smiley in Providence as he continues to lead his team so they can apprehend the perpetrator and bring the Providence community back together through strength and healing. But it's been a challenging few days. I know Ben, this is now the second act of gun violence that he's had to experience in a really personal way over the past 3.5 years. That's too many for any young person. That's too many for any person to have to experience. And so we'll be there to continue to support him. And I'm glad that he's back home and can see some of his high school friends. And I think that will be helpful to him just for all the other students that were impacted and are now hopefully back home as well.
Councilman Ken Herndon in District 4 and the Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, District 1, their efforts with what they've been doing with the community violence meetings, they seem to be doing similar efforts as the Community Safety Commission. Will the two be working together to some capacity?
We've had representation at, if not all, most of those community meetings that have been held. I think it's all, but it might just be, we might have missed one of the meetings. But we have folks from our Office of Violence Prevention, Misty Wright, who's our Executive Director of Community Safety. She has been at several of those as well, other members from my administration, and we're in regular touch with Councilwoman Hawkins and Councilman Herndon. We are always looking. I think Chief Humphrey has been at one of those meetings. I think LMPD has had representation at all of those meetings. So we're always looking to listen from the community. We'll continue to take that into consideration as we move forward with all the efforts that we're doing. Anything else? All right, well, thank you all very much. We do not, I think just in terms of logistics, this will be our last regularly scheduled weekly press conference of the year. We'll take, and then we'll reconvene right after the new year. If I don't see some of you in the media, I wish all of you a wonderful holiday season. And to everyone in Louisville, I know I'll be communicating more over the coming days, but I hope everyone's having a good holiday season, and happy holidays and happy new year. Thank you all very much.